Chapter 5, Test Review. Number 1, it says to write the correct answer in the blank at the right for each question. Number 1, name the property of multiplication that is shown by the equation 4x times 1 equals 4x. Well, we know anything that's multiplied by 1 is that same number. So this is what we call the identity property of multiplication, because you're identifying that anything times 1 or plus 0 is that same number. Number 2, use the distributive property to write -2 times the quantity of n plus 9 as an equivalent expression. So in the distributive property, we're going to distribute that -2 to both the n and the 9. So I'm going to multiply each of those. So -2 times n is -2n. -2 times 9 is a -18. And there's an equivalent expression, -2n minus 18. Number 3 says name the property of addition that is shown by the equation 3 plus b equals b plus 3. So as you remember, there's 2 that we could choose from. There is a commutative and associative. Associative uses parentheses, such as 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, the grouping doesn't matter. You still get the same answer. In commutative, you just simply flip your numbers around. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 3 plus 2 plus 1. So in this case, with our numbers being switched around, this is the commutative property of addition. Number 4, so simplify the expression 8 times the quantity of 3x minus 2 minus 4 times the quantity of 2x plus 5. So we're going to use the distributive property here, and then we're going to subtract, or we're going to combine our like terms. So 8 times 3x is 24x. 8 times -2 is -16. -4 times 2x is -8x. -4 times +5 is a -20. So we're going to combine all of our variables with variables, all of our whole numbers with whole numbers. So if I have 24x's and I take 8x's away, that gives me 16x. If I have a -20 and I take away 20 more, that's a -36. And there's our expression in simplest form. Number 4, identify the next 3 terms in the arithmetic sequence, 9, 13, 17, 21. So I take the first 2 numbers, 9 and 13. I take 13 minus 9, which is 4. Now I see if that's the same thing. So then I take 13 and 17. 17 minus 13, 4. Yes. So I know that we're counting by 4s. So to find the next 3, I simply add 4 3 times. So 21 plus 4 is 25. 25 plus 4 is 29. 29 plus 4 is 33. And there's the next 3 numbers in the term. Number 6 is find the greatest common factor of 14ab and 7a. So I'm going to use my pineapple upside down cake method. 14ab and 7a. We want to find a common number variable that goes into both. So I know 14 and 7, I know 7 is a common factor. So what can I multiply by 7 to get 14ab? That's going to be 2ab. 7 goes into 7 once, so I'm left with a. Is there a common factor here? Yes, they both have the letter a, so a goes on the outside. What can I multiply by a to get 2ab? That would be 2b. And a, it's 0, so it's just 1. So 1 and 2b, the only common factor there is 1, so that means we're finished. So I simply multiply these two together. 7 times a is 7a. And that's a common factor of both. 7a, and 7a times 2b equals 14ab. Number 7, we want to add negative 12x plus 6 plus 4 minus 12. So again, I write that as negative 12x plus 6 plus 4x minus 12. So if I have a negative 12 steps away from the door and I take 6 steps toward the door, I am still 6 steps away from the door. Negative 12x, I'm 12 steps away from the door. If I take 4 steps closer to it, I am still 8 steps away from said door. So you get a negative 8x minus 6. Always take the larger number minus the smaller number, especially if they're different signs. And then the larger number, that sign prevails. So notice that negative 12x, negative 12 is larger than 4, so my answer is negative. Number 8, we want to subtract. So again, 7x minus 10 minus a negative 6x minus 8. So if I have a negative 10, negative 8, that's negative 18. I'm taking more steps back. 2 negatives make a positive. So I have 7x plus a 6x, and that's 13x minus 18. Number 9 says that Gloria bought each of her 3 younger siblings a movie ticket. Find the total cost of the movie ticket if each ticket costs $9.75. Write an expression for this situation. So first we got to find the total cost. And then we have to write an expression. Well, if each ticket is $9.75, that would be the expression part would be $9.75 times the number of tickets, where W is the number of tickets. That's my equation. Remember, my equation is going to have a variable. So to find the total cost, I have $9.75. There are 3 younger siblings plus Gloria, that's 4. So I want to multiply that by 4. 4 times 5 is 20, carry my 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 3 is 39. 2 numbers after my decimal, so there's 2 numbers after my decimal. So my answer is $39. Number 10 says write the equation 6a minus the quantity of 2 times a minus 1 in simplest form. So again, I want to take this part here and I want to find that in use my distributive property to do that. So 2 times a is 2a. 2 times negative 1 is minus 2. And I want to subtract 6a from that because that's at the beginning. So if I have 6 a's and I take away 2, that means I have 4 a's left. And there's no other whole number, so that's minus 2. Always do the distributive property first. Evaluate the expression. 4 times n minus 16. So again, my distributive property, I'm going to take the outside number 4 and multiply it by each of the numbers on the inside. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 16 would be 64. Minus sign in between. 36 minus 64 would be a negative 28. And then you just subtract those two numbers. Number 12 says evaluate the expression 7b minus 5d if b equals 6 and d equals 5. So remember that you have a number and a variable side by side that tells you to multiply. So 7b would be 7 times b is 6, minus 5 times d, which is 5. So we multiply. 7 times 6 is 42, minus 5 times 5, which is 25, and that equals 17. Number 13 says evaluate the expression 10b divided by a if b is 6 and a is 2. So again, I take out my variables. 10 times b equals 6, divided by a is 2. So 6 times 10 is 60. We divide that by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, with a 0 left, which is 30. Number 14 says Marty bought a shirt for $9.50, sandals for $15.50, shorts for $11.75, and sunscreen for $5.25. Use mental math to find the total spent. So what I do is I always find here's a 50 and here's a 50. So I know I can add those two together because 50 and 50 is $1. So 50 and 50 is $1. $1 plus 9 is 10. And 10 plus 15 is 25. And I'm going to add that to 1175 plus 525. Well, I know 25 and 75 is $1. So I add one more to 5, which now becomes 6. And 6 plus 11 is 17. So I have 25 plus 17, which is 35, and 12, which is going to be $42. Number 15, it says explain why the expression 7x plus 5 cannot be factored. Well, reason number 1 is because 5 does not have a variable. It has to have that variable x in order to be factors because they both have to have a common factor. The second thing that helps us with this expression about not being factored is because 5 and 7 are prime numbers. Which means that they only have two factors. 5 times 1 5 times 1 and 7 times 1. Those are the only two factors that they have. So there's no factors that are common. So for both of those reasons, and all you have to do is choose one of them. It's okay which one you want to choose. But that would be your explanation why. Your Chapter 5 math test will be tomorrow. Please study your review. Make sure you go to McGraw-Hill, your math that's on Clever, and look for the red check mark and do those practice quizzes. There's 5 questions for each lesson, and those will help you out. If you have any questions, please make sure you email me. Good luck on your test.